The following program has been rated GE by the Kenya Film Classification Board. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Hello viewer, it's a beautiful day. Welcome to Chungu cha Jamii. This is the station where we make your lives happy. We give you a lot of joy and hope. At Chungu cha Jamii, we air every day at 9 to 10 a.m. We are also on YouTube. Our page is GBS Kenya. Please subscribe to find more of the topics we've been able to discuss. Today we are going to be talking about the hidden purpose. My name is Betty Akuku. I'm your host, and with me I have lovely guests who are going to be taking us through this hidden purpose. Stay on and find out more. You're welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Cornelius. I'm a social entrepreneur and life coach. I have a business called New Zealand Media Production, where we do web hosting, and I also run a community project called CreatorNet in Nakuru, where I empower young people who have just left school to be able to understand how to do their business and how to create their entrepreneurship goals and to set up their companies. We're also running a SACCO, which we started a few months ago, and we want to help these young men to be able to know how to invest and even to put their money that they have earned into good use. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Cornelius. Yeah. Good to have you on the show.
Asante.
Yeah, my name is Nelson Ochuoga. I'm a pastor of Good News Mission, and I'm pleasure to be with you this morning.
Okay. Welcome, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you today. I am so excited about the topic we are yet to discuss and reveal to the people outside there.
Yes.
As we have mentioned, today we're talking about the hidden purpose.
Yes.
When I look at the lives of people, each and every individual has got a purpose in their lives. Problem is, it is a little hidden or much hidden somewhere, and somebody has not exposed it. Cornelius, please take us through the hidden purpose in your own understanding.
Well, this one is like very interesting to me because this is a question that always comes up every time you're talking to someone. Like I would ask, if you ask someone, who are you? What do you expect them to tell you?
They tell you their name.
They will tell you their name. But is it the name you asked for?
If you know them, you're not asking for the name.
Yeah,
no.
You asked who you are. And when you meet a lot of people, they will tell you their name, but what you are asking for is who they really are as a person. So over time, I've come to discover that there is a hidden purpose in everyone. And when you look at innately in ourselves, you find that there's aspirations that you have as an individual, which you normally don't share, but you believe in them and you know this is what I want to do. And when you start interacting with people, you start discovering that they have specific path or directions that they're taking in life or decisions they're making based on something that they know about themselves. And this is where you come to discover that there's always a hidden purpose in someone. Also, when you read the Bible, in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 11, it says that God has made everything beautiful in its time. And then he has hidden eternity in our hearts that we may go to search for it. And in the process, we'll get to know God and get to know his will for our lives.
Okay.
And
so, Pastor, we have a hidden treasure, or rather a hidden purpose inside of us that we need to search for. And as Cornelius mentioned, it's hidden in the Bible. How do we get it?
The hidden what?
Purpose. Yes.
Anyway, to me, I will say there are so many things that God has placed for each and every human being. And everyone has a talent, and everyone has a purpose to live, and also the mission why they should live. And then this goes not with our own making, but this goes with the one who created us to live. And that's why to find it, we have to go where he is. And where he is not in any other place but he is in his Son. And therefore, in his Son, after receiving his Son and believing in the works of his Son, then right away we can also discover the will of God and the purpose of life that we are living. For example, when Jesus was to be born, there's this one say that the angel told Joseph that Mary is pregnant. She will give birth to a son. You will call his name Jesus. So the main purpose of Jesus coming into this world was only one, to save his people from their sins. And also, to each and every human being, when they are born, there is a purpose and there's a reason why they should live. And thereafter, they just go back.
Okay. So listening to Pastor, I get that even though we do so many other things, or we find ourselves doing this and that and here and there, there's a particular purpose for which one is born. And for Jesus, he mentioned that his purpose was to save us from our sins. So even though he gives us houses, he gives us cars, he takes away our diseases, and he makes us well and whole, his main purpose was to save us from our sins. Cornelius, did you find your purpose?
Yes, I did find my purpose.
Okay, please tell us your story.
And mine is rather long. I don't know whether if we went on air, probably would finish it. But I'll try to summarize it.
Okay.
When I was about 12 or 11 years old, I did a portrait of my dad.
Okay.
And I was playing with a pencil. And I did an A3 kind of portrait, and then I put it in my favorite spot in the house. And my dad happened to see it. And when he saw it, he told my mom, I don't have a problem with Cornelius, even in his life, even if he doesn't do well in school, because I've known who he is and what he can do with his hands. And he's very good with what he sees, and he can be able to translate it into something. So I took that appreciation from my dad as gold.
And built on it.
And built on it.
Okay.
And I stuck to that truth because it's something that I overheard my dad telling my mom. He wasn't talking to me directly, but he shared with my mom. And because I loved both of them, I knew that this was it.
Okay.
This is what I am. And I never looked back. And when I look at that anchoring of that truth when I was 11, it took me all through my life. I believed in myself. I knew I had something that I could do that other people couldn't do. I could compare with my siblings. And I could see they were good at what they did, and they were appreciated. I was good at what I did, and I was appreciated. And we've grown up, all 7 of us in the family, independent, running our own businesses.
Oh, that's good.
And we are established and grounded, and we find solace in building each other by encouraging each other.
So from 11, 12, you already knew what you were supposed to do with your hands on this earth.
Actually, say at the beginning I didn't know much, but I had identified. The issue with a lot of young people between 11 and 13 going forward is identifying. How do you identify who you are?
Yeah.
Because you see, you could be called a name, like the pastor rightfully said, that before Jesus was born, her mother or his mother was given a name, and he was told the meaning of that name, and he was even given the purpose of what that child would do. Now, when we come to our children, and even in the family, how do we identify who they are? We may call them names. Like if there's one community I know, the names are called based on what they do.
Okay.
So you'd hear Mama Mboga, Joroge wa Makara, or you'd hear Nani wa Maziwa. So meaning they have already been locked to something. So it's
even if they go and do something else, if they begin to do taxi and they are known to be doing boga,
they are already identified with something which they are good at.
Yes.
If you're good at drawing, someone will identify you with drawing. And then the career path will definitely take that line.
Okay. So did you end up into arts and drawing?
Yeah, actually what I did is that I started seeing things in pictures.
Okay.
So if you talk to me, I would listen to what you're saying, and then I would draw a picture of what you're saying. So in my mind, I could see it's possible, And then I would look at what do I need to do to make that happen. So what are the skills that I need? If I don't have them, then I need to look up to someone who has those skills to get empowered.
Okay.
So I would follow people who have a drive or a path that leads to what I see. And the same thing with children. When you are living around people who identify with your gift, they help to paint a good picture for you. They believe in you, which is actually the key thing. Because once you believe in something, you start building faith on it, and you're able to grow.
Pastor, how do people, or at what stage do people discover their purpose? Because the people who are born and no one tells them anything. They just grow up as normal children and they go to school and they study what their parents have insisted they have to study. And when they are out, this is not what they want to do. This is not what they enjoy doing. And so they just end up like they wasted their time in school.
Good. Each and every human being that has been created by God has a path to follow, has a line to be in. Jesus was born. When he was born, after very few time, he went to Egypt. After Egypt, he came back. When he came back, he was called a Nazarene. And Jesus, in his life, we can see clearly that there is a time when he disappeared completely. We could not know where he was from the age of 12 up to the time he was being baptized by John the Baptist. So these 18 years, where was Jesus? Not written, not known. So it happens with the life of people.
From 12 years.
From 12 years.
Yes.
Cornelius, you deal with people who are 13 to 24 or 11
Yes,
to 24?
I'm laughing and I'm enjoying when Pastor says it's like Jesus disappeared. There's a story behind that. That's
Behind
why,
the 18
yeah,
years.
that's why we are talking about this hidden purpose.
Okay.
If you look at people between the age of 13 to 19, and I'm saying that because I'm already a father and I have a teenage daughter. If you look at, even in families, you find conflict between parents and children happen between 13 and 19.
Okay.
A lot of conflict.
Okay.
And it's because children are visual.
Okay. Pastor, the time Jesus disappeared,
Yes.
12 to when he came back for baptism,
Yes.
where was he? You should tell us, because you're a spiritual man, as we may not know. And you said it's not written.
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, in between there is where now we identify. So I will give my own life experience. I went to O-level. I did my O-level. Also, I did my A-level. And what was my ambition? I wanted to be a doctor in the army. And I studied the sciences. I did my mathematics. But at the time I was doing exam, I flopped in one subject. Therefore, when I went to A-level, I could not do science. So I went to another thing. I did economics. So when I did economics, also I was having this mind, I want to be economist. But also at the end of my A-level, I flopped 1-2 points. Then what happened? I became a salesman and marketing. I did this up to diploma. Then after that, then what happened? I thought now things were going wayward, in the opposite way. What I wanted to be, I have now deviated from there. Eventually, with my sales and marketing as a diploma, with my A-level, with my O-level certificates, I carried them and I went for cadet. I wanted to become a lieutenant in the army now. But do you know what happened? I did my exercise. I was the best marathoner. I became number 3. But when I went for dental checkup, I failed. From that time, I thought I was bewitched. Neither did I know that there was something that God had purposed, particularly for me.
That story is very interesting. Cornelius,
yes.
do you have a similar story that revolves around there?
Well, I think everybody goes through the same.
Okay.
And sometimes you want to anchor why you're here because of the decision you made before. But when you look at how God has structured our lives, because I believe that there's a lot of things that we don't know. That's why our purpose is normally hidden. God has a specific interest in expanding his kingdom. And he knows that the enemy is also watching what he's doing.
Yeah.
And if you remember, if you go back to the Garden of Eden, we find Adam is okay. And then Eve is introduced, and then we hear the enemy comes also, and also wants to do something. Now, when we are looking at our purpose, when we have not identified that there's a greater vision and a greater power that works behind us, we are not able to really know exactly what our purpose is.
So we need
So
that
we are just
greater
guessing.
power.
Yeah, so we're just guessing.
Because for
Yes,
him,
yes.
he went and tried this and failed, tried this and
Yes.
failed, tried this
Yes,
and failed.
yes, yes.
He's yet to tell us how he finally founded
This
his
is this is
hidden
yeah.
purpose.
This is
So
normally,
for
yeah.
you, did you have just a smooth journey into finding your purpose?
No, no.
Or did you, there are people who, right now, they're singers, they have some qualification, and they're doing completely a different thing from what they studied and where they are. They wanted to go this way, but they found themselves going the other way. Do you have such kind of a story?
Yes, I do. But I want to put it in a way that people can be able to relate.
Okay.
Life, as God has structured it, is in seasons.
Okay.
And you have seasons. That's why we are talking about age groups. We talk between the age of 1 to 12, something is happening, which is
Yes.
very critical, especially for the family. Because this is when you're listening and watching. You're not talking.
Okay.
As a person, you're listening to your parents, you're watching them, you're seeing what they're doing. Then between 12 and 13, when you enter 13 to 19, there are things that you're trying to grapple with. You're trying to evaluate what you have learned and who you are. And this becomes challenging. For
And
someone,
you can actually make a mistake at that
you can
point.
make a mistake at this point, because
Yes.
if you had the wrong foundation, probably you had the wrong message from your parents, or probably you never had a mentor or a guardian who was able to guide you. Then when you get to your teens, late teens and early 20s, you'll be guessing. You'll not be sure. And then it happens that you get influenced by the wrong people in your life. Probably someone, I normally put this challenge to my team when they come to CreatorNet. I ask them, so what do you want to do? And someone will tell me, I want to go to Kisumu.
Okay.
And I would look at their life. They have flyers for South Coast. They have a ticket with the Mombasa liner going to Mombasa. And I would look at them and tell you, okay, you want to go to Kisumu? I think the direction you're taking
Is wrong.
is not Kisumu. This is Mombasa.
Yeah.
And you need to change. Now, bringing that person to a point of first identifying where he is and then where he needs to go. And you need to change his perspective and mindset, the things that he believes in, so that he can be able to first, instead of looking outside, to internalize, to see himself from the inside. Who am I? And then you can be able to now move. So when I look at my history, I see so many mistakes that I did between 13 and 14, believing that probably I was an artist. So I went into courses that were art related. But really, it was not about art.
Oh, again.
Again, you see? And then I went into college, I did programming. I loved computers.
Okay.
And I ended up having a company where I was helping people to do stuff, drawing their visions and writing their stories, doing graphics for their websites and stuff. And then I still found there was something empty. I was not getting fulfilled.
You were not satisfied.
Yeah, I was not satisfied. So I knew it was not about drawing. And it
Okay.
was not just about doing websites and design. There was something more.
There was something
There was something
I
more.
want you to tell us
Yes.
that after the break.
Yes.
Viewer, we are taking a short break. As I told you earlier, we are GPS Kenya on YouTube. Please subscribe to our page, Chungu cha Jamii. This is a place where we give you happiness, joy. You want to fix your life. The problems that you have had, we have solutions for them. We are so sure about this. Stay tuned. We are coming back shortly.
People have dominance over themselves. Why? Daddy, no money. Give me money. I'll buy for you. Daddy, I said, I don't have money. Hey, I know, Daddy.
Can the Ethiopian change his skin? Or the leopard its spots?
예수님이 우리의 모든 죄값을 다 지불하시기 때문에 예수님 다 이루었다라고 말씀하셨잖아요.
So Jesus paid for all the wages of our sin. That's why he could say it is finished.
Yesu alipa mshahara wa deni zetu lote, ndiposa akasema kwamba imekwisha.
하나님은 슈퍼컴퓨터와 같은 분이에요.
Everyone, God is like the supercomputer.
Upendo wa Mungu ni kama hii supercomputer.
There is a card that makes paying for almost everything easy like ABCs. No need to make trips to the ATMs to withdraw money or carry cash around. That's the Equity Bank Visa card, accepted everywhere you see the Visa sign. Use it to pay for food and drinks, fuel, shopping, pay for your Uber ride, shop online, travel and hotel bookings, and so much more. Pay conveniently and free of charge. Card security is guaranteed thanks to the chip and PIN technology that protects your card from fraud. Start paying with your Equity Bank Visa card now and enjoy the convenience of not carrying cash.
Welcome back, viewer, to Chungu cha Jamii. We are talking about the hidden purpose. I hope that you subscribe to our YouTube page at GBS Kenya. Thank you for being with us. Cornelius, people do not know their hidden purpose precisely. Everyone just guesses that, you know, I have a purpose, I have a purpose. But if you pin them down and ask them, like you had told us from the beginning, like, who are you? They'll simply tell you their names, and the rest, they don't know how to package it, you know. I don't know whether when you were drawing, you know, and putting everything into paper, you know, picturing everything that you could see and what people could say, did you really know that this was your purpose, or was it not even your purpose at that time?
Well, now, at that time, when I started drawing, the first thing that I did was I really looked for approval. So I would draw something and I would show it to my friends. I would draw, share it with my maybe kids in school that we were.
So you were looking for approval?
Yeah, I was looking for
and
approval.
And when you got the approval?
Yes.
Did that prove to you that this is it?
It plays a very important role for this reason. When you are doing something that people appreciate and they love, it affects you positively. Because you see yourself creating joy in other people and making things happen for them. So you're excited about it also. So when you get disapproval, you begin to feel afraid of exposing yourself. So anytime you are not getting approval of what you are, or what you think you are, you always lock it down. So you find a lot of the times that I was not getting along well or growing in my gift, it's because people are not appreciating. So you start getting affected by their response or their feedback. But when you get people appraising you, liking your work, and approving you,
you want to do more.
You want to do more, and you want to keep pressing, and then you finally start unlocking potentials or hidden truths in you you didn't know you had.
And that makes you feel that this is your purpose, and now you want to follow it just by virtue that people approve of it.
Sometimes you don't even know. You stand up and you find everybody saying, this is the best guy doing this. You've never even known that you're good. It's only that people will be telling you you're good. And when it happens that your parents really are approving you and supporting you, the sky is the limit, because you still want to make them happy. and you
Okay.
want to make them feel good. At that age, between 13 and 19, it's very important. Like I always look at my children now, I have to keep talking to them positively and sharing the word. The issue is the word. What word do you give your child? When you notice that they like doing something, it could be like a small chore in the house. They like helping you to clean the house. They like maybe helping you to cook. What do you say to them? What words do you use?
Listening to you, what I'm hearing is you could actually have those children who, when you love cooking, they come and join you.
Yes.
And they may even end up being caterers,
Yes,
you
or
know,
chef.
and being chefs. But this is not precisely what they wanted to do. They just copied with time
Yes.
until they liked it, and it was the chore that they liked at home. So they end up taking up that. But in future, they realize, I don't like this. Because now, like you said, you look at the market and you're competing and you're comparing yourself. When whatever you're doing, you're not making as much as you want. You don't think you're profitable enough. Then you start comparing with your friends and the other people neighboring you who are doing the same thing. So because of that, you want to change. This means it is not your purpose. Because, Pastor, if this is your purpose, then you will pursue it to the end, however good or bad it may look in the sight of the people. For you, you thought you were probably bewitched when nothing was working for you. How did you end up finding your real and true purpose?
Good. God is amazing, and He's a miraculous God. Also, His ways are cannot be identified by men. After my marriage, I saw that things were not moving the best. In fact, I had what I was doing, because I was a salesman and also I was doing marketing. I was having money, but even though I was having money, it was not giving me peace. Because imagine having 1,000 every day out of your salary. But this is not giving peace. Which year is this? This is 1990. In the year of 1990, having 1,000, then in the terms of financial status of today, is like having 5,000 to 10,000. But never gave me peace. Eventually, one thing came to me. If I continue like this, I will die. And if I die, where will I go? So when I reached this limit and I saw the death of my father, that very point, hellfire came to my heart. And immediately, life started to change. God gave me an opener. I got in my salvation. After believing in Jesus, I left my job and I joined theology school. And it was a very joyful thing, a very happy thing. Yes, I underwent so many challenges, having no money, somebody who used to have money, but it was my joy. Why? Because I tried to become an army man, I was rejected. I even tried to become a teacher, I was rejected. Not because my papers were wrong, everything was good, but today I realized, this was the way of God. The way of God is really hidden. But how can we find it? We can only find it when we have mentors. We can only find it when we have people who are able to open the light for us, receiving Jesus Christ. Through that, we are able to get it clearly.
Okay. Cornelius, you're training teenagers and young adults.
Yes.
And these people, looking at your own story, when I listened to Pastor, he had stages of life, you know. You mentioned that you're married.
Yes.
Yes. So at 12, you began to discover something about yourself. And also your dad brought it to the limelight. How did you move after that? Did you get married? I also had you mention that you have children. Please tell us a little about your own self.
My story is a bit long, because you see, when you're starting at 12, I started working at 19.
Okay.
I went to college, graduated when I was immediately after 19. I moved out from home.
Okay.
And the reason was I wanted to feel like a man. My dad had passed on when I was 15. And I believed that I needed to give my siblings a chance to be able to be supported by my mom and to be able to study. And I thought I was good enough to go out there and try out something.
Okay.
So when I started working at 19, the first place that I went, I got someone who knew my dad. And interestingly enough, as I said, life is full of seasons and surprises.
Okay.
I entered into a season where I got someone who was speaking over my life. So there was a mentor, kind of.
There was a mentor.
Yes.
Okay.
And he would look at what I was doing and he would tell me, I think you need to do this first, not this. So I began to have priority. The things that I'm doing started having meaning.
Okay.
And I started looking at goals and objectives. You see, when you have a mentor at an early age, you're able to identify how to plan. You're able to identify how to listen. Because at that point, you are trying to find out, how do I get my meal and pay my rent? You see, now you've just left home.
Yes.
And when I was 22, I started my first company. And
because you had a mentor.
I had a mentor. Okay. Now the interesting thing is in a family setting, you'll always look at people say that you don't get charity from home. But for me, I think one of the key things that I have loved about our family is that we work as a unit. My bro was working then. He had started working like 7 years earlier than me. He took me to Sharia House. He loved my vision, but he didn't know what to do. So he told me the best way to do is first register your company. So at 22, I had my company, and I had my elder brother, as my mentor. We kid all the time calling him chairman because he kind of
So
knew.
with all the visions and all the things you wanted to do,
Yes.
at least there was someone to point to
Exactly.
you. You know, do this, register. Because then you just do everything at the same time and yet with nothing.
Yes.
You get it?
That's the point.
Yeah, so when did you get married?
So and then 4 years after that, I had already established my company.
Okay.
I was able to do a lot of design work for clients. And then I noticed I talk to people more about their problems and how they solve their solutions. If you've worked in an IT company, you'll do a lot of research, you'll do a lot of content development. So you're getting vision and mission statements from different companies, people trying to figure out how they can do their stuff.
Yes.
So you end up kind of listening in and looking at where are they not probably polishing up. Then you can be able to help them to
do that.
present the same story to the community. So by the time I was getting to 27, I had known so much about myself and what I was able to help other people achieve that I decided there and then my company will be about building other people.
Okay.
It will be about relationships.
So now you have discovered
I've already discovered,
who
yes,
you are,
yes.
and this is your purpose.
Yeah, my experience.
By helping other people.
Yes. So now you realize people come to me because I'm able to support them, I'm able to give them direction, I'm able to help them to be able to package themselves, and this became very unique.
Okay.
Because when I decided to marry, I had one of my interns who was
working. How
working.
old were you then?
I was 27 going to 28.
When you married?
Yes, when I married. My wife was getting to 23. She was still 22. She was working as an intern in my company.
Okay.
And we started now sharing about how we can be able to help other people achieve stuff. And I identified one thing about her. She loved building relationships.
I like the fact that you discovered your purpose by helping other people.
Yes.
A lot of people are so selfish and they think if you know something and you discover something, then you keep it to yourself and it will make you and build you. But that was contrary for you. You discovered your purpose by helping other people.
Yes, yes. So in this season, I'm in 21 to 27. I'm doing so much for other people, not really about myself. I'm not caring about how much money I'm making. I'm only interested in, can I satisfy my client? Can I be able to build a network of friends or a team of support people who can help me achieve this vision? And in the process, I identified a helper. She came and became now a full partner in my company. Then we married the following year, and we have 2 daughters. I have a daughter who is 13 now, going to 14, and I have a daughter who is 11, going to 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pastor, when you joined Theology, at that time, was it your personal choice that, you know what, I'm going to get destroyed, I'd better run here for safety and become a pastor? Or did someone lead you into it?
Good. When I got in salvation, the fear of going to hellfire pushed me into looking for the truth. I went to several churches, I could not get. But when I joined and listened to the word that was spoken by one of the brothers in Good News Mission, this word fitted my heart, pulled my heart, and made me to be a church member of that mission. After 6 months, there was one missionary who came to me and called me and said, hey, come, I really want you to resign and join as a missionary student. And I was like, hey, how will it be? Because here there's no salary, but there is. He told me, you have this one heart that God wants you to know, that you are able to be his disciple. So with that, I followed his word and I joined missionary school. So there was a mentor who guided me to join missionary school, not because I really wanted to join, but I was led into it.
And pastors also help to fix people's problems. I've had many scenarios where when you have a problem, even back wherever, people just say, why don't you go and talk to a pastor, you know? Because people believe that pastors are men of God and that pastors give solutions to their problems. And I'm glad to hear that also on your side, you're doing the same work of giving solutions to people's problems. So when you got married, and you mentioned that you have 2 daughters, yes, and how old are your daughters?
12 and 13. One is getting to 12, the other one is getting to 14.
Okay.
They are in their mid years.
They are in the age of the people you deal with in discovering their purpose.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's very scary for every parent.
Yes.
When you get to have teenage children, because you know they are beginning to discover who they are, and you have to really invest in talking to them. Now, the interesting thing is this. If you're starting to talk to your child when they are 12 or 13 or 14, you're already late.
You're already late.
Because if you go back to biology, the brain matures at the age of 3.
Okay.
And by the age of 6, it has already stopped growing. And it's now just receiving information. So between the ages of 6 and 12, what the kids do is just watch you. And they are studying you, how you speak, how you respond to issues, how you deal with challenges. So by the time they are 12, they have already formed a perception of what is right and what is wrong. So if, as a parent, you're not aware of your purpose in that relationship, in the family setting, that you're supposed to be the mentor, you're supposed to be the teacher, you're supposed to be the life coach, you're supposed to be the person who oversees the foundation of your child, then you're in trouble already at 12. Because at 12,
you lost it already.
Yeah, at 12, this child is now beginning to look outside the home. They're trying to find out, because my mom doesn't know, or my dad doesn't know, how do I handle this? And they will start looking at their peers. That's why you have a lot of peer issues happening, especially when you have children out there who are not in the same environment that maybe you are. Say, for instance, if you look at our society today, there are a lot of single parents. So meaning there's one absent parent in the lives of the children. So if it's a boy being raised by a mother, then you find they have issues about authority. They don't understand authority. They're not able to follow through on something and put their foot on the ground because they keep shifting.
I like that point about single parenthood.
Yes.
Because a lot of people only indulged in helping the single parents and they never think about the single children.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I want us to take a 2-minute break. Then we come back and dwell on that. Viewer, we are taking another very short break. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube page, GBS Kenya. We are coming back just now.
And this is G Radio.
Hello guys and welcome. This is G Radio, #1 TV show, and we're coming live at GBS TV. And I'm your host, Isaac Tabitha.
I'm the co-host, Evan Tinyari. And as usual, we have our DJ Deco. You can also send your views on my Instagram page and Tinyari_it.
And also you can get me on our Facebook page as Isaac Tabitha. Thank you so much, guys.
Keep it here.
Kwa mara ya kwanza, runinga ya GBS TV inakuletea Echo Mziki. Ni show itakayokuwa inatambulisha vipaji vya ma-DJ, wasanii wenye uwezo mkubwa na madancers wenye kunengua. Ungana nami Trobo Nyakoko pamoja na mkali wao DJ Vocus siku ya Ijumaa mida ya saa 12 hadi saa 1 jioni, na Jumamosi mida ya saa 9 hadi saa 10 ya mchana, na Jumapili mida ya saa 9 kwenye Echo Mziki live audience. Echo Mziki, hapa mziki tu.
How many of you use your real names on Facebook? Wengine ni Sweetie Pretty.
You must succeed in being an eagle and not a chicken.
I'm seeing myself owning the biggest media house in Africa. Yes, I could employ you, in fact. Yes.
All right, now it is going to another direction. But that's a question.
When you are born and when you grow up, now you do the work. You become a person who likes the country. You understand, right? I mean, not getting a job at Kenya Power, right?
And you know what? Who you are online is exactly who you are offline. And who you are offline is who you are online.
여러 군데 가서 강연을 많이 해보는데
So I've been to many places to give lectures.
우나일레 와서 와 이러면
Whenever I say 우나일레 와서
눈썹으로 인사를 대답을 해.
they respond with their eyebrows.
Healing, hope, restoration. Amazing stories of real people like you who have triumphed over tragedy. Watch Turning Point International and be inspired to reach your turning point.
It really ministers to the soul of man, and as a pastor you benefit a lot because people learn, and they learn how to cope with issues probably you don't even deal with in your sermons.
It's not reality TV, it's real life TV.
Welcome back, viewer. We've had our 2-minute break. I hope you are still here with us and you have been able to subscribe to YouTube. Cornelius,
yes.
I want Pastor to come in and help us with
Yes.
something. Pastor, people never consider the single children. Everywhere they are talking about the single dads, and mostly the single moms, how they're going to fix their problems. But people forget the children, yet these children are also born with a purpose. And no one is there to unlock this purpose for the children. What do you think about these children? What are we supposed to do about them?
God is not out of his mind when he said man will leave his father and mother and cling to the wife, and also wife will leave her father and mother and cling. In fact, when the child is born out of two products coming together. The product of a product from a female and a product from a male. When they come together, then they make a child. Also, this child, for the child to grow and to live, then should continuously be fed, not only with food, but also with that which comes from both of the parents, both the mother and also the father. But now, in absence of one means the nutrient is not complete. It is lacking. And now the one who is going to be affected most is not the mother, is not the father, but the child.
Okay.
So that's why in marriage and even in getting children, the parents should consider with whom did I get the child. The child should be raised by the two people who are involved in making that child. Because the nutrients to let the child grow and mature up is not in one parent, but
is
is
with both of them.
with both of them.
Okay. I don't know what your take is
Yes.
on that.
Yes.
Because I'm considering that sometime something may happen that one parent is
Yes.
not in. There could be separation, there could be divorce, there could be a scenario where there was never a marriage, and there could also be death, right?
Yes.
So for you, Cornelius, are you both single-handedly, are you both jointly raising your children?
Now, for me, my case is different.
Okay.
6 years into our marriage, my wife got a terminal illness,
Oh.
and then she passed on.
Sorry.
So I was left with my daughter, then was 3 years old, and the eldest was 6.
Okay.
So you can imagine, here is a father. I am around 34.
A single dad
34,
now.
going to 35. I'm a single dad. My business is at its peak.
Okay.
I am running out of the house. I'm going to do work. And I have kids. One kid is going to nursery school. The other one hasn't gone. I have to get a house help. And it was really complex. This is where now people break.
I know, I can only imagine.
Yeah, this is where people break. But I thank God, one, because of the value systems that we had built with my late wife then. I knew what family was and how important it was. And I knew either way, I have to get grounded. But now the challenge becomes is how do you raise these children and get someone who will continue with the same mission you have. So you have to first get someone who you will train, and you start sharing the same vision, or you probably will share your vision and goal. You have
But
children.
now you see, now you cannot
It's
train your
already there.
wife.
Yeah.
You don't train your
You
wife.
can't.
You just receive her.
It's very interesting. That's why I'm saying it's not something easy.
Uh-huh.
Here is where now you have to depend on God. One, to be able to find someone who can be
Okay.
able to understand you as a person and the direction that you're taking. Because when
So this person has to know
Yes.
what your purpose.
he has to understand where you are at.
Yes, and where you're going.
Yeah, and you see now the issue here is it's not just you. You have you and you have children.
Yeah, but people make mistakes.
Yes.
I'm getting what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But as we've tried to find our purpose,
Yes.
we make many mistakes.
Yes.
You know, this is why I end up. I am in a law firm. I am also in procurement. I am also in the media, and yet I am still searching. I need to be in some airline.
I'll give you a basic value that I hold
Yes.
to be true, and this is what I use to evaluate. I always look at what is first to you as a person.
Okay. To some people, it's family.
Is it your career? Is it your occupation? Is it your children? Is it yourself? Because you see, when you are interacting with people,
Yeah.
how they speak and how they present themselves to you, you'll always know what is a priority to them.
Okay.
And once you know what is a priority to someone, that is what motivates him. That's what drives him. So you're looking at a single parent who is struggling to raise children, and you'll be able to know where he's failing because you see his process. You can be able to see what he's trying to do and whether he has the capability to do it or not. And it's at this point where now you're looking at, and I've tried to look at my life because you have weaknesses. When you start doing a self-appraisal, you'll see your weaknesses. You begin to close yourself up so that people don't see them. And in the process, your kids are going to lose out and you get hurt.
You see, when you're doing a self-evaluation,
Yeah.
the underlying factor is we are generally generous
Yes.
to ourselves. So we hardly put down the negatives, much as people see them. So it takes us to be at a certain different level to be able to even expose our weaknesses so that we can be helped.
Yes.
And this is the major reason why we need a mentor. I like what Pastor said, that the things that he had tried, he actually failed.
Yes.
And somebody noted in his life that, you know what, though you failed in this and this and this, but you can still be used. You can still give hope and happiness to the lives of other people.
Yes.
And so I will train you, you know, this is a school, come and study this, and I will train you how to be useful in the lives of the people. So we make a lot of mistakes, Pastor. When we make mistakes, should that be the end of our lives? Especially for those who cannot listen to their mentors.
I think making mistake, that one should be something to motivate us. When you make a mistake, you should be motivated by that mistake. Why? Because you would have known this line cannot work. And then from there, you don't need to rely on yourself. trust in yourself, because I don't know myself. Who knows me? He knows me. He can see me.
Yeah.
You can see me. Therefore, for me to make a better step, I need to hear, to listen from them who have good heart towards me to guide me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we need these people who can actually look at our lives and tell us, this, you're not going in the right direction.
Yes.
Because this is the way also we can find that hidden purpose inside of us.
Yes.
When we think we are good in this, somebody is seeing something different that we have never perceived.
Yes.
You see?
But
So
perhaps the question would be, in how do you identify this mentor?
yes,
How
that
do you
will be
get-
that will
yes.
be another very, very big question.
Yes,
But
yes.
it's important, even as you look for this person, to be yourself, to be who you are, and also to lock up with the other people. So you have gotten married. Unfortunately, 6 years down the line, your wife is gone, and now you have children to take care of.
Yes.
And I'm concerned that they're teenage girls now. Do you think, from what Pastor stated, that they need the other portion of the nutrient from the mother?
Absolutely.
They do.
They do.
How
They
are you
do.
fixing that?
So what I've done over the short time is it took me a longer time, I think, in understanding where I was at.
Okay.
And I know to some people, they say it's taken long. But I think it's the point of how far had you gone in a relationship and built, when you start to now rearrange yourself and kind of reset and start working again to build a new relationship. It takes 3 now, not 1 person. I take all my family members, me and my daughters, and we're able to sit down and look at where we at, what do we want, and how are we going to build it. Remember, they are teenage daughters now.
Yes.
And it took me longer to realize that life is not about them. It's about purpose.
It's about purpose.
And
it's about
I
purpose,
have
and
my
you also
purpose.
want to train them
Yes.
that they discover their
own
true
purpose.
Own purpose.
Yes, I have my purpose.
Without their mother playing this role.
Yes.
And remember, we need a mentor
Exactly.
to walk us down this line.
Exactly.
So they are missing the mother's participation.
Yeah, so what I did, about 3 years into trying to figure out, and as Pastor rightfully says, I made a lot of mistakes.
Yes.
I dated the wrong people. I wanted a quick solution. So I would go out there and I would meet someone and I would be I don't even evaluate, like when you go out dating and you want to find out something about someone. I was not looking at those things. I had a problem at home, so I wanted to fix it. I wanted to fix it and get over it.
Yes.
So I started making the mistakes of getting into wrong relationships.
Trying to fix the problem
Trying to
back
fix
at
a
home.
problem that I have, rather than presenting myself to this person, letting this person love me and the vision I have, and grow. And remember, I'm an individual first, trying to share, this is who I am. And then now bringing in the children, you'd find in the dating life, especially for a man who has children, and girls for that matter, you'd find you meet someone who likes you. And then when he meets your children don't like her.
Yeah, I
So
need
you're
you to
stuck.
fast forward this because
stuck.
we only have 2 minutes.
Yes.
I need you to fast forward this
Yes.
and let us know precisely, because
Yes.
it is not, we hear a lot of people who are able to fix other people's problems,
Yes.
but they could not fix their own.
Yes.
But when you speak of your own, then
Yes.
it is much, much helpful than
Yes.
history and stories you read in the book.
Yes, yes,
I would
yes.
like to know precisely, because I know you're fixing the lives of other people who are
Yes.
13 to 20-something,
Yes.
but now your own. I need you to do that, even as you also give us
Yes.
your parting shots.
Yeah, so what I've done, and this is experiential,
Yes.
is that I've known that there are values that really need to be straight and need to be right, so that people can be able to engage with.
Okay.
And when I went out and started discovering who I am and what I can do for other people, I realized the seasons that we go through in life, the mistakes that we go through, how we overcome them, the challenges that we get through, and how we are able to build up those solutions and grow. A lot of people who are with us, including our children, they are watching us, and they are learning from those experiences. And they're saying, I would not do that. I would probably do something else. You actually give them an opportunity to take a different route.
So you must follow
Yes,
your purpose.
yes. So when you're following your purpose, there are key values that you begin to embrace. The first thing is that you have to keep your word.
Okay.
Because if you want to help your children to know how to do stuff, they have to keep their word. Second thing is you have to keep focus.
Okay.
You have to keep following through on your passion and building on it. And then you have to use your time effectively.
Okay.
You have to...
Those are really key.
Yes.
Those
yes,
are really key.
Yes.
Pastor, we are out of time.
Yeah. I'm so thankful because the only way for us to move and identify our purpose is joining and connecting our heart with the Creator who has this purpose with Him. And once we link with Him, then the purpose will also flow in us. Yes. The way He said, I loved Jacob. He loved Jacob because he knew the purpose and he knew what he wanted to impart in Jacob. And this is when Jacob met with God and connected with God, it could flow. So meeting with God, meaning getting salvation, getting forgiven from all sins, means getting connected with God, and all the plans of God for my life will just flow automatically.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes.
This has really been awesome.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed listening to you because you had a lot of knowledge and content to teach us. Thank you also, viewer, for watching. It has been a lovely time we have had over here. I hope you have a take home, like I do, that our purpose is with God. We need to connect with Him to find it precisely. And also that our children, as they are watching us, they want to know, are we keeping our word? Are we keeping the focus that we have? And are we using our time well so that they are able to watch and copy the things that we're doing? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have been able to subscribe. I have been your host. My name is Betty Akuku. See you next time.